But it was the Jewish philosopher Philo Judaeus who, being educated in Alexandria, where Platonic thought flourished, systematically applied allegorical interpretations to the Bible. Yeah, if I want to get rich, all I gotta do is start recording him. They were like, "Oh my God, you got a talking monkey." Yeah. What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Don't Be a Viking podcast. Today, we're going to focus on God, and we're going to focus specifically on the geographical location of Israel. We're going to talk about how the God of Israel is an anthropomorphic human God. We're going to talk about how the people were punished for not believing in the new spirit God that was pushed on people, and how we shifted away from the belief of a human God to a spirit God. Let's get into it. And I just took my do-rag off. I just cut my hair off. I know y'all don't see no waves yet. Give me some time. But if y'all see like a line on my head or whatever, that come from do-rag. Don't think I was sleeping all day too hard or something. The first thing we got, the Hebrews and the Jews believed in the anthropomorphic God all the way up until the time of Jesus and beyond. I don't know, bro, first name, but Schramser states, it must be pointed out, Jewish anthropomorphism seems to have been notorious in the first centuries of CE. In the second century, the church father Justine Martyr said the Jewish teachers, quote, imagine that the Father of all, the unengendered God, has hands, feet, fingers, and a soul just as a composite being. Composite just means two or more things put together. Looking at it like that, most things are composite beings. Me and you composite beings. This book is composited of two or more things. You feel me? But I won't put words in his mouth or speak for him. But he probably saying composite as in flesh and soul. If he's not saying it, at least there's one interpretation you can have from it. An example of how the God of Israel was viewed in the 5th century can be found in the Jewish text Genesis Rabbah, AD 400 through 450. Rabbi, whatever her name is reported as saying, when the Holy One, Yahweh, blessed be he, came to create the first man, the ministering angels mistook him for God, since he was in God's image, and wanted to say before him, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. You know, when folks, we already talked about this in the other video, but if y'all ain't watched that one, when folks go to the verse where it say in your image and likeness, in God's image and likeness, they try to say, oh, it's the spiritual image or likeness or whatever. We already proved that the Hebrew word salim and demut, the image and likeness that was translated from, means like physical, anthropomorphic image and likeness, not this spiritual whatever they try to throw out. Once again, proving God is a human. And here, when they say God made the first man, we know the first man was human. The angels mistook him for God. If God was a spirit, anything other than human, they wouldn't mistake a human for him. More anthropomorphic proof of God. But let's continue. There is a legend among the Jews that when the high priest Simon the just, on his last day of atonement, was ministering in the temple, his usual companion, the old man adorned in white, entered the Holy of Holies with Simon, yet did not leave with him. This raised an eye of surprise in the circle of Rabbi Abahu. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but like everything else, it's going to be on the screen for y'all. For it is written in Leviticus 17 that no one could be in the tent of appointment during the time when the high priest is atoning in the sanctuary, not even one of the angels. Rabbi, whatever her name is, concluded that surely that venerable old man that entered the Holy of Holies with Simon was no mere mortal, he was God. Influenced by Greek philosophy. But a lot of stuff we read as we keep digging into knowledge, we gonna see that a lot of stuff, whether it's religious stuff, cultural stuff, whatever, a lot of stuff is influenced by Greek philosophy. So I just want y'all to keep that in the back of y'all head. Influenced by Greek philosophy, a number of Jews began interpreting the biblical passages concerning God in a figurative sense. These new Jewish converts to Hellenism. Hellenism is the Greek culture after Alexander the Great died, reacted against the God of their fathers. What does this mean? The God of their fathers. If I was born in the year 2024, the folks from 2023 and prior believe in X, Y, and Z. And then I come along, excuse me, I come along, even though I'm new here, and being new not necessarily bad, but if I'm not credible enough, knowledgeable enough, experienced enough to be able to come change what my fathers and mothers, ancestors before me did and believed in, and it worked. Imagine somebody doing something for millions and millions of years and it's working. Then I come along just to be rebellious, say, I'm going to turn the fathers against the children against the fathers, and whatever else byproducts come from this decision. Just because when everything been working. But we'll continue. By the 2nd century BC, Platonic thought was widespread, and his immaterial reality began having a powerful influence on the Jewish understanding of God. How you say, brother? Aristobulus in 150 BC, basing himself on Greek thinkers and poets, applied an allegorical interpretation to the anthropomorphic descriptions of God in the Bible. But it was the Jewish philosopher Philo Judaeus, who, being educated in Alexandria where Platonic thought flourished, systematically applied allegorical interpretations to the Bible, thus pushing the God of the ancient religious traditions further out of the temple. Yeah, if I want to get rich, all I gotta do is start recording him. They be like, oh my God, you got a talking monkey. Yeah. But what I can say, both of these folks came in and added a more spiritual or allegorical context or idea to the descriptions of God, which was anthropomorphic. I already explained it in the other videos, but if you don't know what anthropomorphic mean, it means basically human, like human characteristics relating to human beings, or if they use the word corporal, think of it like corpse, spine, human being, flesh, bone. You feel me? So both of these folks came and added this spiritual aspect to God when the original text described God as a human being, like I said, which he is. Now, don't get it twisted. Somebody in my comment section on YouTube was saying we not spiritual beings, like we only flesh. That's a crazy concept. You might be only flesh. I don't know what you got going on, but myself, and I can speak for my people, we are spiritual beings and simultaneously flesh beings, human beings, or both of them together. So I'm not saying God don't got spirit at all, but other folks say that God is only spirit. He don't got a physical body. That's not true. Moses ben Maimon, aka Maimonides, planted his foot firmly against the true God. He was the first to set up the incorporeality of God as dogma and declare any person who denied this doctrine as an idolater and a heretic who would be denied entry into the hereafter. Now, think about this, because this a problem that a lot of people got with preachers or whatever religious figures in their community. When you start to say, if you don't do this, you don't do this, you going to hell, and then you describe hell as a place where you like burn forever, like it's a eternal punishment and etc. You try to control the people and rule by fear. Now, fear is a very powerful emotion, like the two most powerful emotions, if I'm quoting the minister correctly, is love and fear. And fear, although love might be the strongest emotion, fear can outrule love if the love not strong enough. You see what I'm saying? If he's saying, and then this a dude who among his community got influence. If this dude is saying, yeah, if you don't believe this, you don't believe that, you automatically going to hell. The people who not as educated in the community or whatever might say, well, since he has credibility, I'm trusting him, a person who has supposedly done more research than me. Even if I have thought of God in this light or in this light, if this person with great influence is saying different than what I think or what I believe, maybe I should change up my viewpoint. Or what if you want to keep your viewpoint, but everybody around you take the mindset of that man? You might feel out of place, or all the little kids that's coming up. If this is being put into the society as dogma, then the little kids is gonna follow along with it. Then when I first read this, I couldn't really wrap my mind around this passage because I thought I knew what dogma meant, but what I thought dogma meant was not what dogma actually means. So I'm gonna tell y'all, just cause y'all need a refresher like me, dogma mean is basically no way around it. This is true, it's firm, it's set in stone, you ain't changing it. So if he set this up as dogma, that means he is enforcing it damn near with an iron fist. But we'll see how things got for you if you disagree with this dogma set up by this man Maimonides. His guide determined what was to become the orthodox concept of God within Judaism for a long time. There is evidence to show that this was the writing of Maimonides, which finally did away with all anthropomorphic notions amongst the Jews. So when he set up this dogma, I shouldn't even put that in quotes. Take them damn quotes away. When he set this up as dogma, it's evidence to show that after this, he put the nail in the coffin. Like after this, it was little to no anthropomorphic talk about God within this community. Now let's look at what happened when you go against what they set up as dogma. I don't know how to say brother name. We're gonna try to say last name. Spinoza was denounced and banished from the community by the rabbis because he rejected Maimonides' principles and exegesis and declared scriptural anthropomorphisms were originally meant to be taken literally. Shout out to you, bro. Spinoza's, you a real one. Spinoza's ousting from the community of the Jews indicates that the God of Israel was also officially ousted. So he disagreed with him. They like, I ain't gonna lie, bro, you gotta roll. Now think about this same fear tactic of the other little paragraph passage we just read when he said, if you don't believe this, if you don't believe that, you going to hell, cuz da da da. All right, cool. Imagine hearing that. Then you seeing somebody else who probably got respect or whatever, he got some pull in the community. Then you seeing him get kicked out. All because he don't believe this. You like, dang, cuz no, not only is you going to hell, you get kicked out the community or your folks at, like where your friends, family, whatever at. All right, cool. And he got influence and they kicked him out. If I'm a nobody, I don't got as much influence or pull or whatever. My name ain't as big. I don't get as much respect. What's gonna happen to me? You will start thinking all of these type of thoughts. Once again, ruling off fear. That's what they trying to do. So if you standing up for something different, we already know this. We can look at different folks, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, anybody. If you standing up for something different that's against the folks in power mindset, or what's a better word I can say? If it's against their agenda, that's a word people use frequently. I ain't gonna lie, you gotta be willing to take that fight, know what you signing up for. Have some stuff prepared on the back end to where like I know they gonna do this, so I'm gonna do this to counter that. You feel me? But bro probably ain't know they were gonna do this. This probably the first time he ever heard of somebody pulling out a spirit guide. So he's standing up for what he always knew. Bam, look at what happened. Now I ain't even gonna go into the next subject, the next topic. This literally the next slide, because I want to purposely break the videos up so I don't bombard you with too many information. Not even calling you stupid, but anybody might be watching this video. Somebody on the more novice level, somebody on the more advanced level. If you on the more advanced level, you probably not only heard some of this already, even if you didn't hear none of it, you probably can easily follow along from the other studies you've been doing. Your brain already on this type of level. If you newer to it, You probably don't know a lot of these people. You probably don't know a lot of these words. So you probably got to keep pausing it. Go Google this, go Google it, refresh yourself on this, refresh yourself on that. So I don't want to keep throwing too much out in one video. So I'm going to keep breaking them up in parts. In this video, we only handle Israel. We only handle a small part about Israel. Did they believe in the anthropomorphic God just like everybody else, just like all our ancestors, just like the folks of old? Yes. When did they start to change? We gave the timestamps. Who started to change it? We gave the names. From that, it'll make sense in the other videos. Okay, the folks in the East believe this. The folks in the West believe it. The ancient West, not the West now. The folks in the East, West, North, South, central places, everywhere, they believe this. Okay, we got the evidence that they believed this. Now everybody currently believes in the spirit God. Okay, then we need to track when did it start to shift, and not only when did it start to shift, how? If everybody believed this, and let's say it started to shift here. Okay, how did it spread everywhere? You see what I'm saying? So we want to break it down piece by piece. In the other video, we proved just like a little bit in this video, but it was more evidence and sign. In the other video, we proved how God is a man, not just a form of spirit. In this video, we proved furthermore how the people of Israel believed God is a man. And we're going to keep going forward. Now, why is this important? All right, this sound good. That I hear you. All right, cool. Why is this important? On this channel, we want to focus on building the unity between families. Families is the basis of a community. You can't have a good, strong community, a good, strong nation without the most essential piece, family, marriage, man and wife, and kids. You feel me? Without a healthy home life, a healthy family, you can't continue to grow to the other higher levels. You can't continue to multiply that family in a healthy way. We know in the household, the man is the head, the woman under the man, the parents together over the children. Cool. You go in that order, everything goes smooth, or at least it's supposed to go smooth if you're doing it correctly. But one part we miss out is, okay, if the wife is submitting to the husband, the children submit to the parents, who the man supposed to submit to? Do the man just create rules willy-nilly? I ain't gonna lie, gang. Man, you probably not smart enough or experienced enough in life to just be out here creating our own rules. One thing we can do is study our ancestors, study our parents, our grandparents, the people before that. How did y'all like do this, do that? Did it work? If it didn't work, let's readjust. If it did work, okay, let's take from that. Cool. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is the man submit to God. You feel me? So to submit to God, to worship God correctly, to attempt to be a God, you have to have a understanding on the reality, the truth of God. If you think you worshiping God, think you understand God, and you really just understanding or worshiping the idea set forward by people other than God, you won't be able to manifest the power you're attempting to manifest because you're not worshiping the true and living God. So there's one reason. It gives us order on how to guide our own lives and our family who is submitting to us. Two, I touched on it a little bit in the answer. Bro, we want to become gods, plural. If you think that's blasphemous, keep staying alone and we'll provide more proof in that. Matter of fact, in the next video, we're going to talk about the counsel of God. So if you feel the type of way when I say gods, just stick around and we'll go into the Bible and we'll go into the Quran and prove everything I'm saying. But if we want to become gods, we have to look at the God, see how he operates, see what he do, what he advises of us, and like pull power from it, get some source from it. You feel me? So that's the importance of talking about God. Not only do it give us power, because to learn more about God is to learn more about ourselves. Literally. I'm not saying that we gonna be exactly like God. We can't do 1/100 of what God do. But If God is a human and we made in God's image and likeness, we're his children. To learn more about God is to learn more about ourselves, and to learn more about ourselves is to learn more about God. So wrapping it up, that's the importance of learning about God. So if y'all like what y'all heard today, drop a like, comment anything you want to come in. If you got a question, let's chop it up in the comment section. Subscribe. Tune into the next video on the Don't Be a Viking podcast. I will holler at y'all. Yes, sir. Ski.